All right. So I woke up this morning to a video about a young lady, Asian girl, talking about why she quit her 9 to 5, how it was making her feel, it was making her a little depressed, etc., etc. Right. So I decided to make this video, and I'm gonna dedicate this video to the young folks. Nobody is in right now, so maybe I'll wait a few seconds to see if people join us. Pull up some stuff. I pulled up some stuff on the internet to see if I can, to be give you some pointers when we discuss this video. Now, let's talk about quitting your 9 to 5. Why? Who should and should not? All right. First of all, you can't just quit if you are the sole provider. You have to have a plan. All right. But I said this video is for the younger folks, so listen to me. And the older people can chime in and help me out with this. Now, judge like using the same example as another video that I was watching about maybe a month ago. This guy kind of gave you a play by play about how he reached to the point that he decided it was time for him to quit his 9 to 5, and I guess he started a YouTube channel. Okay, and why he reached to that point. So I want to do the same thing. Okay, now as you can see, I'm older, right? I'm in my 50s, and I'm gonna tell you from the experience that I've had in um, trainings that I've taken from a very young age. Let's say 16, 17, you're in high school. They don't the adults in your life, educators, whoever, they don't necessarily tell you that you're gonna make $100,000 a year if you study this, but it's kind of like church. They kind of plant seeds and make you think that it is a big deal once you graduate from high school. You're going to live this lavish lifestyle if you just focus on this and that and the other. And older people like us, we know that that's not true. I have, of course, graduated from high school. After high school, I took a typing class, right? I've always educated myself. I took a typing class. And then after the typing class, somewhere around 95, when Windows 95 came out, I was in class learning Windows 95. I already knew Windows 3.0, right? I studied graphic designs. I tried to be help desk, going to help desk. So I was studying all these areas of computer technology, right? I was studying. I took a class of network technology. They told us they'll help us get a class. It was like 18 months. That was help in New York City. That will help us get a job. By the time we graduated, they were looking for jobs in the newspapers. I mean, in the same areas that we would look for jobs. Okay, and they're like, "Oh, you could get a job at McDonald's, or you could Wendy's is." There was like the pharmacy is hiring. They weren't helping you look for a job in the field that you were, studying. But however, they sold it as if they can help you look for a job. Like I said, directly, they weren't telling you directly that they will help you get a job at these companies, right? But they'll make you, it's kind of like the way they sell it, they make you believe that they have connections with these companies. And then you finish and you graduate and you get this certificate, and you got to go out there and get this job with these companies. When I was trying to get into the field of help desk, I was studying at home because that was after that networking technology class. I had my computer books. I studied for like 3 years straight in my house. Just after work, I was sitting there studying on the weekends. I was studying till like 10 p.m. I mean, I was studying, and then to go out there and during that time, I would say it was somewhere mid 2000s, maybe 2000, around there. Um, I was Here I am trying to get a job that first of all was a male dominated field, right? And secondly, I didn't have the years of experience that they had. So I'm just trying to learn this stuff and get into that field. So I had a job once, and I was working I was doing data entry for, I think it was called Deutsche Bank then. I don't know. I had a name before that. I don't know what name it has now, but it was Deutsche Bank, and I was doing data entry. in an exchange place in Jersey City or somewhere in New Jersey. And right across from where my desk was, there was the help desk guy crew, right? They all had their desk to like a wall to the right. And they were just sitting there watching movies, watching football games, doing all kinds of stuff, waiting for work, waiting to be called to do some work. And at the same time, I was studying at home. And one day, after studying for like 2.5, 3 years, I just closed my book halfway through and never opened it back because I saw what they were doing. And I didn't want to do that with my life. I didn't want to sit there and have to wait for hours or whenever somebody needed me. I wanted to do something with my life. Okay. The reason I'm saying all this is because I don't want the young people to believe that because it is planted in their head as if when they graduate from high school or when they graduate from these vocational schools or from college, you're gonna go into making $100,000 or anything over $50,000 back then, whatever, right? It's not like that. You have to have a plan. When you get these jobs, okay, when you go ahead and get these jobs, you have to be get this job to stack up your money. You have to have a plan. You can't listen right now. Listen to me. I have a job right now and I'm a grown ass woman, right? And this is the age of technology, right? Everybody's using technologies, large corporations, large companies, even companies like Best Buy Technology Company, they have this group text that they communicate with their employees, the employees with, because they're too busy. They don't have time to answer the phone, right? I work for a local company, government company, organization that we are also busy. But my boss, he's not the worst person in the world, but he's on a power trip. Okay. He was in the military for like, I don't know, since he was young and he retired from the military, right? Like 18, 21, whatever, I think he said. And he retired. So he has that mindset. So he's on a power trip. So this morning I texted him. It was like maybe an hour and a half before I had to be there, or 2 hours. And I woke up and I said, I'm not going in because I gotta, take my dad to an appointment because he keeps missing because he's 82 years old and he no longer trusts himself to drive. So I called him and I said, listen, I'm not. I text him and I said, I turned over in the bed and I'm like, let me text him now. I said, I'm not gonna come in today because I have to take him. Blah blah blah. He's missing his appointment, but he calls me right back. I said, I'll call you later because I know you need to hear our voice when we are gonna be out. That's what I texted him. He called me right back because he likes drama. He's ready to fight. He likes drama. So he calls me back and tells me that, I don't like when what he said? He said, I keep telling you that I don't like to be, that when you text me and you keep texting me. And don't text me. Something like that. Like he was talking to his kid. Those are the things that you are going to be facing when you deal with work. It's not all going to be like you're going to be a good employee and you're going to do a good job and you're going to make a lot of money and you're going to get respect. So you young people, stop trying to grow up so fast and you have to have a plan. You can't spend all your life out there doing knucklehead stuff, getting in trouble, getting like doing this and that, and think that somehow one day you're gonna walk into this company looking good and sounding smart and do you gonna get a job. I'm this age. Nobody was there to advise me. Nobody was there to advise a lot of people. Do you understand? You have to have a plan. All right. I'm gonna get this job and I'm gonna work there for such and such time. I'm going to stack up my money and then I'm going to build something for myself where your only option is like dependent on this job, this 9 to 5. Listen to me. This is what you lack when you become an adult, right? It gets real. Okay. You go out there and get this job. You're in a rat race. You're competing with a whole bunch of people. Some people don't have as much experience than you. They're picked because they're pretty, because they're tall, because they're white, because they're short, because they're black. It could be a lot of reasons why they choose these people, right? Regardless of your experience and regardless what your educators and others have told you. So you go out there and you get this job and you start working and you feel good. You can lose this job just like that, no matter how good you are. You can lose this job for whatever reason, company cutting, cutting costs, whatever it is. You lose this job and you didn't have a plan. Your plan was getting this job. That can't be. And I don't know if people are out there talking about it, but that cannot. If you are 18, 21, 25 out there trying to start your life, your plan cannot be to get a good job to make a certain amount of money and waiting for a promotion. Or this. Listen, the ones who got it bad to me is millennials. Millennials still have the old. They got a little bit of the old mindset, right? They have hunger for the new mindset, but they're still doing the things the old school way, like staying in companies for like long while they're getting old. You don't want to be my age and having to call your job. Like other companies are using group text to communicate. I have to call that man if I'm going to be a few minutes late. I have to call that man if I'm going to make an appointment. I texted him and I said I would call him and, call him later on. And he going to call me that early, fussing on the phone. And I said to him, you know what? You talk to people like they're your children. And I hung up on him. Then being sarcastic, I called him right back and said, "Hello, yes, I'm gonna be out because exactly what I wrote him in a text. Since he want to be on a power trip, it's not about him. I can sit here and say, "Hell, he's an asshole." It's not about him. It's about decisions and choices that we make that we end up in those type of situations. If you're gonna quit your 9 to 5, you have to have a plan. What are you gonna do? All right, so this is where you can start, right? Make a list of all your monthly bills. That's how you can start. Make a list of all your monthly. That's how I would do it. Okay. Make a list of all your monthly expenses. Put your bills together first. Your bills together. Add them up. Okay. This is how much you need for your bills. Not the minimum. Okay. Not the minimum because that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Not the minimum, regardless of what your bills are. Then take into account what you're gonna need for gas. If let's say you gotta do something with gas, okay, gas for your car. Then you gotta eat. Do the math. That's all it takes. The same effort and energy that you put to do great things and creative things for companies, do it for yourself. Okay, do it for yourself. You can do it. So do the math and all these things. Okay, I'm gonna need about this much for sure monthly. That's what you should aim for because everything else is like gravy. Now, expect to not buy any new clothes, any new shoes, any new, whatever. Expect that. I mean, you can live with all those things. People live in the other parts of the world with all these things. So, you know, so you can live without these things. So don't plan to buy new stuff. Keep your clothes nice, wash them, whatever, the correct way. But listen, people, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I want to grow. I'm trying to grow this channel, okay? So please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm sharing my energy with you. Please throw some good energy back. Thank you. So so what the things that I'm thinking about every day I'm coming home, man. Sundays are the worst. Because Monday through Friday, I'm going to this job, right? Monday through Friday. Listen to me. You are actually like, oh, that place owns you for like 6 days. Monday through Friday. So Sunday night, you are preparing for Monday. Even if you're not like taking your clothes out or ironing it or whatever, your mind is preparing to deal with that place on Monday. You got to go to bed early to go to work on Monday. Okay. Tuesday to Sunday to Monday, Monday through Friday, you're doing the same thing, right? To Friday morning, you're doing the same thing. Then Saturday is your only day. Friday night to Saturday is the only day you got to yourself. What are you doing? All the stuff that you're not able to do on Monday through Friday because these places close by the time you get home or by the time you get off, right? So on Sunday, my face is just, my daughter be like, "What's wrong with you?" My people be like, What's going on with you? Every Sunday, I'm like, I got to do this again. I'm not mad at the company. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm not mad at my boss for being an a-hole. I'm not mad at any of that. And I'm not even mad at myself. I'm just like, I don't wish this for younger people to focus on stuff like that, because you waste your life just dreaming of what you can do. And there you are making a company that will let you go in a minute, right? A lot of money. Use this strength, this creativity, this energy. Use it to build something for yourself. And don't be afraid. Just because you see other people just going to work and it looks easy that way doesn't mean that that's what you should do. What message? Doesn't mean that that's what you should do. If you are starting out in life and you get a good job, let's say you in New York City, any big city, anywhere, please don't plan to sit in no job for no 5 years. Don't think that that's your tomorrow. Company close down, they go bankrupt all the time, and that's not the worst. And I don't want to just sound negative. I'm trying to tell you that the things that you're missing out in life, you're not going to get back. You're not going to get back. You have to plan better. You have to put your money out. Stop buying every piece of technology that they put on your face because it looks interesting or because other people have it. Put your money away. I'm not going to talk about investments right now because that's not my expertise. But stack your money up for rainy days, for times where you're not working, for when you're fed up and you want to walk away, for when they disrespect you at that job. So when they're not appreciative of the energy that you're giving them. You understand, when you've done all this stuff for companies and they still treat you like you don't matter. Let me tell you, I used to work for a lot of agencies in my early 20s, and I'll do great jobs for them, and I'll do the jobs from beginning to end. Let's say they were long-term temp or short-term, and they'll give me advice. The minute I walk into their agency, they tell me how good my resume is because I thought, as a black woman and as a woman, I had to learn more than the ordinary individual going into this. So I educated myself. I think I've never stopped learning. So I walk in and they're like, your resume is so impressive. So they'll put me in these good jobs. But sometimes they'll send me to shit places where you walk in there and there's nothing but boxes. And that's you work in a corner like that. What would you send me here? Did you visit? And I'll call them. Did you visit this place before you send us here or me here? No, I've never been, but the such and such sounds like a good person. No, there's nothing but boxes, and I'm not gonna get sick. What's going on around here? There's another agency, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna finish about the first agency. There's another agency that sent me to a I think it was around the stock market and one area of the stock market because it was in Wall Street. And she said it was a data entry position or administrative assistant, one of those, because that's what I was looking for. That's what I was comfortable with, right? I'm a timid person. I'm insecure during this time. I just want to do things that are in my field of work, what I'm used to doing, what I'm trained, what I trained myself to do, what I have experience in. And she sent me to this place, and I'm gonna tell you now, I had a friend that used to work in that in a job that had a job like that. And what you have to do is when anyway, at 4 o'clock, whenever the stock market opens, everybody yelling, and it was kind of that area. So I didn't have a desk, I didn't have a spot. It's just that phone right there that's hanging from the side. When they say a number to you, you have to yell it out. I'm not that person. I don't even argue. I don't even argue in a personal life. So I called the agency and I said, I thought you said it was this and that type of position. And she was like, it is. I said, no, it's not. And I explained to her what it is, whatever it was. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, no, that's not a good fit for me. And she said, no, you'd be surprised. They're like trying to pet talk me into doing it. And so even though I have worked for her and I've done great jobs and finished the assignments, that one time that I didn't want to do it. And listen, I stayed in there for the morning. I went out to lunch, and I think that job was paying like $17 or $18 an hour or $19 an hour. But during that time, that was good money. That was like 2000, early 2000. That was good money for a person that was only like, what was that, 20? Like I was early 20s. That was good money. So, so I said, I'm not going back up. It was lunchtime. I went to lunch and I never went back up. And she never called me, even though I've done other work, other jobs for her. I've finished my assignment. I've gotten good reviews and whatever, whatever. She never called me again. That's happened with like two, three, maybe through two other agencies. You do good work for them, and the only thing they remember, because remember, as long as you're working, they're making money. When you leave that job, they don't make that money, so they cut you off. I say all that to say, do not dedicate your life to no company. A 9 to 5 cannot be your life plan. You have to plan. You have to put your money away. You have to have something in it, in the back end. You have to have something else in the works. People are 50 something years old, tired. They just want to do their own thing and they have to go to work. But the plan is, it's easier. Like back then, I could walk away from a job because I had another adult, helping with the rent and stuff like that. In your monthly bills, you cannot include your rent when you're doing all this. When you're trying to quit a 9 to 5, you can't include your rent. So it's better if you're living with your parents or you have a partner that's going to hold it down to you build up to where you're trying to do, whether you're trying to do it like a YouTube channel or something else, build your own business, whatever. That helps. But when I said include your business plans in doing your math every month to see how much money you need for your bills, I was talking about your bills, not your rent. So, make sure that you have a plan. All right. The way things are going right, I don't know if our plan is going to be working, but let's just hope for the best. So now, reasons why people are quitting their 9 to 5, right? This an idea. 9 to 5 is a waste of time. Somebody said that a 9 to 5 is a waste of time, is a perspective that some people hold, often based on the way they value their time, freedom, or personal goals. Here are a few reasons why some might feel this way. Okay. Lack of flexibility. A 9 to 5 job typically offers limited flexibility, meaning you are bound to strict working hours and potentially have less freedom to pursue personal projects, hobbies, or spend time with your family. For many, the structure of a traditional job feels restrictive, really, compared to autonomy that comes with freelancing, entrepreneurship, or remote work. The difference between working for somebody and working for yourself. I own the business, a graphic design business in New York. Well, a small shop, not no huge business. And you have to worry about everything. And then you realize while you're doing the job, all the things that you have to implement, right? And all those things become your responsibility. So sometimes it used to flash in my head that it's easier to just go get a job. But what a freedom, you even get up earlier and put more effort into your own thing because nobody's bothering you. You understand? And the business just go as well as what you put into it. So if you got good energy and you care about your customers and you give them quality service and products, then you can build something good. So if you have a skill out there and everybody's telling you how good you are, maybe you should stop being afraid and put it to work, because there's nothing like having the freedom of owning your own hours. So because even if you're putting in 10 hours at your business, you're doing it for yourself. You're not giving all your energy to someone else. Okay, number two is limited control. In a 9 to 5, you're often working for someone else's vision and goals rather than where am I? Rather than pursuing your own passion or ambitions. The work might feel unfulfilling, especially if you feel like you are going like if you're just going through the motions without much room for creativity or personal work. The work that I do is very tedious. It's repetitive. I do. I'm not gonna say tedious. It's repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over again. I have a customer in front of my face. I'm doing something for them, and then the other customer come, and I was like, "Did I do it for this one?" Because I'm doing it so often that I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, just different people around me, in front of me, just a different person in front of me. So I'm like, "Did I do it already? Did I?" And I have to do notes, and I think I already did notes, but I did it for the person that was before them, and so it can kind of feel like it doesn't bother me. The job doesn't bother me at all. I appreciate the job. It doesn't bother me at all. It's easy work. But at the same time, I get up at 5:45 in the morning. I get home around 5:45 and I'm beat down. I'm so tired. So it's like the rest of the night I'm just sitting down for a minute before I go to sleep to get up and do the same thing the next day. And people literally do the same thing for years. I've had many years of my life where I've done some type of entrepreneurship on my own. All the skills that I have, I put them to work. I learned computer networking. I've done that for and made money. I have built computers in the past. I used to fix computers in the past. I done t-shirts. I've done hat. I've just graphic design. I've done resumes because I know how to work Microsoft Office. Like I said, I also know publisher. So I've done flyers and business cards, and I've used my skills to make money for myself for many times. But it's just that right now I'm working a 9 to 5, and I'm not happy having to get up every morning. Like I said, the job doesn't bother me, but just thinking that how long am I gonna do this? And any amount of time that I put into this is a waste of my time, because then when I decide if I quit, then I'm starting from day one. So those are the things you got to keep in mind. Like, I'm older, I'm telling you, your plan cannot be, yo, I can't wait till I sit and I work for this company and you're all excited, because when you get in there, it's a whole different situation. All right, so let me continue. So what I'm reading here is, here are a few reasons why some might feel that a 9 to 5 is a waste of time. Okay. Number three, work life balance. Some argue that a standard 9 to 5 schedule leads to a poor life balance. With the majority of your day dedicated to work, it can leave limited time for self-care, relaxation, or spending quality time with loved ones, which can negatively impact mental and physical health. Well, physical, in a way, it depends on what kind of job you're doing. Mental health, I'm telling you, every day that you're in a job, if you're a person that wants more out of life, you're thinking, oh my God, I could just start today. I can do this. I'm going over there. I don't have enough time. This and that. It can depress you. Some people do get depressed. In fact, the woman that I was listening to earlier, she was talking about how just knowing she had went on a vacation, and when she came back from her vacation and facing the same life that she left before she went on the vacation, she knew she had to log back in and work 10 to 14 hours. It made her feel depressed. And just know that this is what you young people that are going into the work field, this is what you're facing. You could get depressed because when you're young, you hanging out with your friends, you're having so much fun, you guys are making money together, you have all these plans for the future, and then you get a 9 to 5, and then you just like a rock every day in the same spot. Yes, ma'am, can I help? May I help you? How can I help you? Yes, man, I'm calling it every day, doing the same thing for years. If you don't do it for that company, you do it for another company, but you're not doing it for yourself. The paycheck that you receive is probably just a fraction, like a pinch of the money that you're making them just by making these phone calls, or servicing these people. So yes, get a 9 to 5 so that you can stack your money up, not for it to be like a long life, choice to create for somebody else, build somebody else's dream. Another thing, a potential of stagnation. Some people see a 9 to 5 job as a rat race where you're constantly working towards promotions or salary increases, but you may feel like you're not actually progressing towards a more meaningful or fulfilling life. This can lead to burnout or a feeling of being stuck. That speaks for itself. Another thing is, this is why people believe that working a 9 to 5 is a waste of your time. In a 9 to 5 job, your salary is often fixed and your earning potential may be capped, regardless of how much effort you put in. For some, this leads to a feeling that their time is not being compensated at the level they believe it's worth, especially when comparing it to potential earnings of entrepreneurs or those in commission-based roles. However, it is important to note that not everyone feels the way about 9 to 5. Many people find fulfillment in the stability, social structure, and opportunities for personal growth that a traditional job provides. It all depends on the individual values, goals, and perspective. Would you say you learn more towards a flexible, independent work style? So now this all makes sense, okay? And I said it a minute ago. I said everything is not for everyone. At one point, when I was running my business, I found it easy to in my mind, though, in my mind, I found it easy to just go get a job and let them give me a paycheck on Friday, or 2 weeks later. I hate those 2 week later, but you sometimes feel that it's easier to do it that way. But then when you get there, if you're a person that had big dreams, if you're a person that's skilled, you're intelligent, you know that you can build something for yourself. It's going to torture you to know that every day you just get in your ass to go to the same place, to do the same thing with people you can't stand. For how long you got to do it, because you got to pay your rent. And if you take a chance and just quit, you might not be able to pay your rent. And but you want to do it because you know you can do better. And then there you are, thinking this every day for 5 years. 5 years later, you're still there. You're still in the same earning bracket. You're still in this on the same level, in the same apartment, same problem, same issues, same job, hearing the same stories about the same goddamn people. Especially if you're in a company where you see people come and go, you wonder what they're doing. Sometimes, right? And then there are people that work their whole life. They leave a job, and the only thing they know to think of is to get another job. And then they turn 60 something and they're so tired, and now they quit. They don't know what to do with themselves because all they're done is talk about work and prepare for work and live work. So when they retire or they decide to, like, I don't want to work no more, I got hurt, I'm going to take some money, pension, whatever, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. So they start working out. They want to go on vacation, but they look like lost in the world because the only thing they knew was work. You only have one life to live. You only have one life to live. And you're going to spend it owning, having a company own your time for 6 days a week. Because, like I said at the beginning, for those that didn't hear it, Sunday, your mindset is preparing for Monday. The only day that you don't have to think about going to work is Saturday. I used to work for Amazon warehouse. And the only thing I didn't like about it, for those who talk about Amazon all the time, the only thing I didn't like about it is the long shifts. I know a lot of people say overtime. No, I like my time. So I didn't like the long shifts. I worked 10 hours, and at one point I worked 12 hours, but I only worked those 12 hours for 2 days. I mean, for 2 weeks. I couldn't do it. The job, no, it's 12 hours going up and down the ladder. No, that wasn't for me. So I worked in another department, same building, for 10 hours, and I worked there for a year and a half, and it was taking a toll on my feet and my legs, and I was like, I can't do this. I didn't mind the work environment. I really didn't. For somebody that have all the skills that I just expressed to you, and work in other in corporate America and work in offices and all that, I enjoyed working at Amazon. I really did. I think the job, I think it's easy money. I really think that in that building in particular, okay, because I know some other people will tell you that is a nightmare, and that's left for interpretation, and every individual feels different. But where I work, I didn't have a problem working there. And I worked there, like I said, for a year and a half. And I didn't like the only thing I didn't like working for 10 hours a day. And I just thought that nobody should have to work 10 hours a day, especially doing such heavy work. And so that's how I ended up where I'm at right now. But anyway, I hope you guys like the videos. Don't forget to like the video. I only see 2 likes. I don't know how it's gonna look better. I don't see anybody in the room watching. I don't know if people just click and be away. But this is a good subject, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get views later on. And please, people, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to build here, and I'm trying to build a community. Okay. I speak to you guys in the next video. Like the video. Bye bye.